When I left Cuba because I was searching for a better home for my family, I was in another country and I made a promise to God. I made a promise to God that if He allowed me to arrive safely in the United States, that I would search for Him. So I arrived here in Dodge City and I had been searching for some help, and I came to the Salvation Army, and the officer here invited me to come to church, and I went every Sunday. So and now I've been 5 years in the Salvation Army Church. I began to attend the Salvation Army Church because my husband asked me to. My husband had accepted Christ in the United States, so I began to look for a church in Cuba, and I found one.
I started going to the Salvation Army as a young girl.
Growing up, we went to catechism. I grew up in Catholic church, and we would go to catechism and do the first communion and first confession, but to me it didn't mean anything. It was just something that I had to do. It wasn't something that I wanted to do. Going into my teenage years, it was saying we would go to church, but I wasn't getting anything from it. Met my wife in 1997, and we started going to Salvation Army Church, and from then on, from about 15 years before I truly knew why I was going to church.
I became a Christian at a young age. My mom raised us that way. She grew up in a Catholic church, and so naturally we attended for a short period of time.
The longer I spent visiting the Salvation Army Church, being a part of the church, I just began to fall more in love with it. The work that the Salvation Army does for other people. And I felt in my heart and in my spirit that I wanted to be an officer, that God was calling me to be an officer.
Like, I always have that kind of feeling, like I could be doing more.
It was a Sunday that I was attending church at the Salvation Army, and Matt and Marissa McClure were lieutenants here at that time. And they were asking if anyone in the church felt like they were called to do more, whether it be just helping within the church or more along the lines of being officers.
We were involved with another couple here at the Topeka Corps, and going through the same process, I felt like I wanted more after I became a senior soldier.
Since I began walking with Christ, we have been blessed. God has opened up the doors. In this moment, we are in an internship. We are working on the things that we lack to prepare ourselves.
Anything the majors need us to do, we pretty much do, so.
Because in Cuba, most of the people do not have the possibility of having a car. And I drove a bike. Never in my life did I think I would drive a car. In the year since I've arrived in the United States, it's my goal, it's my challenge to get my license to become a Salvation Army officer.
Right now, I am a youth group leader for the children's group. I also sit on the board here within the Corps and help make decisions along with the lieutenants and the other members.
We help with Sunday school. She calls it the tween group. I don't like calling it a tween group. So we have actually coined our own name, which is TCFT, which is Too Cool for Teens.
I ask that people keep praying that this would happen. That the next time I do an interview, it will be in English.